my friends out there. It is time for another monthly Cavendish update. After my live stream last month, I got a lot of input from many people around the community. I apologize if I have not responded to your emails individually, but I've gotten a lot of feedback and a lot of good information that can make this experiment more viable. Also, a lot of information that came directly from the discussion. One of the biggest things that was brought up during the live stream was the fear that there would be some kind of vibrations causing oscillation from the ceiling since I was physically attaching to the ceiling. Now, like I stated, this is a very sturdy building, and I've never felt any type of motion from the floors or from the walls. But as you can see here, what we decided to do was put a timber across the walls. This will isolate it from the ceiling. Now, I will probably reinforce this timber a little bit just so that there is less vibrations back and forth, because this is literally just wedged up into the walls. And you can see here that we've got some cloths up against the wall, so that should isolate a little bit from the walls themselves. The biggest fear now is any movement in the middle, but it should be isolated fairly well from the building itself. And on top of that, I should be receiving soon a package from Where's Wally down in Australia. He has been absolutely amazing in engineering several things that are going to be going into this experiment. The key things for this part are vibration sensors and accelerometers that are going to go on the timber. So in real time, as we're running experiments and as we actually go for a test run on this, you'll be able to see if there is any motion whatsoever on that timber. And the information being put out by these vibration sensors will be going to a website for anybody to download and analyze, and it will also be on screen. So in real time, you can see if there are any vibrations being generated by anything in the environment. And as part of the testing, I'm going to be doing testing specifically on that vibration sensor because I want to determine how sensitive it is. If I'm tapping on the walls, am I going to be able to feel it? Am I jumping up and down on the floor? Is that vibration sensor going to feel it? So we want to make sure that these sensors are going to be picking up any vibrations that I'm trying to isolate from. Since the last run, I also did some testing with piano wire. I actually found a piano tuning store that is just down the street from my office. I purchased some wire that was 0.8 millimeters and I gave it a shot. The only issues that I ran into is that this wire is not flexible at all, so it is very, very difficult to tie into knots at the attachment points to the beam and to the torsion bar. Ironically, at a local hardware store, I picked up some 0.6 millimeter gardening wire. So currently I'm running tests on that to see how it does. At some point, I might go back to the original piano wire, but I also have a delivery on the way for some 0.012 millimeter copper wire. Once that arrives in the mail, we'll give that a shot as well. Another big change that's on the way is the torsion bar itself. Right now, the weights on the torsion bar are 5-pound dumbbells that were literally cut in half and stuffed inside the PVC pipe. A lot of that weight is actually in the handle that is stuffed inside the PVC pipe, so it is not centrally located on the ball itself. The other concern also is that it is cast iron, so there's a possibility that there's some kind of magnetic field around it. I haven't been able to identify that, I've tested it, but just to eliminate from that, I currently have 2 3-pound lead sinker weights on the way. Sadly, Amazon wouldn't ship them to Korea, so they're on their way to my wife, who then is going to put them into a different box and ship them off to me. Those 2 lead sinker weights are going to go onto the end of a wooden dowel rod. The wooden dowel rod is another point of contention because I can't find any place in Korea that sells wooden dowel rods. I'm hunting for it. I hope to find it soon. In the end, though, that should be the torsion bar. A wooden dowel rod with 3-pound sinker weights at the end of each. That should isolate from any other type of static electricity or from any magnetic fields, because now I will have 2 completely different weights, both that are non-ferrous. There will be no magnetic fields going around them. At this point in the project, I've probably spent about $500 on various parts, the plexiglass, the weights, the shipping, the timber, the Arduino, cameras, the extension cables, and I'm coming to some of the bigger purchases. The last thing that I really need to make this as a precise experiment is a better laser than I currently have. The laser that I'm currently using is a cheap LED laser that hooks straight up to my Arduino. It is not a pinpoint laser, it is very wide beam. But if I want to be able to get measurements down to the millimeter, I need a better laser. Thankfully, somebody over in Germany actually reached out to me after my last video because they have the knowledge on how lasers work. And he's been guiding me on a laser that might be able to help. Sadly though, brand new lasers of the sort that I'm looking for begin at about $800. Thankfully, on eBay, you can find secondhand ones for much, much less, down to $100 to $200 and $300. And along with the laser, I've been advised that I really need to get a high precision made silvered mirror. That way the measurements that do come off of this are precise. So right now I'm looking at between $300 and $400 remaining on this project, and it's getting a little bit more expensive as I go. I'm the kind of guy that feels that I can do it, but I'm getting to that point where I need your help. Anybody out there who can spare a little extra change that wants to support this project, I've started a GoFundMe. It's specifically for these last remaining high dollar items to complete the project. My current goal is $350 so that I can purchase a decent laser and a mirror that will give us the precision results we're looking for. So if you've liked the project so far and you want to help me out in the future as this goes along, any support you can provide is greatly, greatly appreciated. At this point, I'm not sure how I'll be able to thank you. I may put up a bulletin board inside the experiment with everybody's name just so that we can see who was part of this project. So the link for the GoFundMe is down below. If you think it's worthy of a few of your pennies, I greatly appreciate it. A couple days from now, I should be doing another live stream all day of this experiment unattended. The hope for that stream is going to be to get a good 8 to 10 hours of video of the natural oscillations of the current wire that I have. I'll be in there on and off throughout the day chatting with people, but it will be an unattended stream. The ultimate goal of this stream will be to evaluate the current wire I have and the torsion strength that it has. I'll probably do another one in a couple weeks after I get the next wire so that we can compare and figure out which wire is the best wire. I hope to see you there. Thank you so much, everybody who's been following along and supporting this project. Until next time, stay flat.